we opened up for Steve Earle. How did it feel to open up for Steve Earle, one of my heroes and songwriting heroes, in my hometown, in front of my family? Was that a combination of...
A combination. Like, if I hadn't have been having to work so hard to keep it together, I would have, like, shit my pants. But also...
I think that show was pivotal.
It was pivotal, but here's the thing. That show would not have been what it was, which was, for us... And it doesn't matter if we never play with Steve Earle again. It doesn't matter if Reckless Kelly disowns us and doesn't invite us back to the Braun Brothers reunion. That show for you and I was transformative. And I don't think it would have been if we hadn't have gone through making this album.
True.
Because making this album, we were either going to come apart or we were going to come together. Mm-hmm. We came together stronger and more just in sync. Like, just this. And that show happened in the middle of us recording our album. So we had gone through the most difficult parts. We had shed layers and layers of ego and uncertainty and like, what are we doing? We knew what we were doing. Mm-hmm.
Well, you had to push me into what we were doing, because there's a part of me that always, in a setting like that, it's easier for me to lean back and play Yesterday Road, songs that people knew from a long time ago. It's just
maybe somebody there would remember it, even though they didn't know who you were for sure. They might know that song.
It's got more of a possibility of ringing a bell in everyone's head. You pushed me to go out in front of an artist I respect the most, one of the most, and to play my best songs, my most artistic songs, and that scared me.
Like, how easy would it have been to go out there? You think about it. I don't think we even talked about this, but you could have gone out and played Fighting For. People would have known it. Yeah. Even if they didn't know Mike McClure. Yeah. But we didn't do that.
Yeah, and she pushed me to dig deep and pull out the ones that move me. And so I knew that I was going like into this fight with one hand tied behind my back. So I was ready with this hand, because it was like, okay, if you're going to do these songs, you better damn sure get down into them and put them across like it's the best song you've ever played in your life. And I did, and we did, and you did great. You even got a compliment out of my brother, which is like, I'm still waiting.
Okay, so speaking of that, how did it feel for you to go home, play in front of one of your musical heroes with your family there, down the road from where you grew up?
There's a lot of things happening at once, In the parking lot next to that was where I bought my first guitar at a flea market. My dad bought it for me. Right there. And, playing like Pink, Oklahoma. And then Dad and my brother are there, and Mom's gone. And that was, man, it felt like I had to do it. I just had to do it, and I know it broke both of them, and me too. But it's like, that's how you heal, is you say the thing that is hard to say, that reaches in and breaks something open.
And it transforms it. And that part where there we are in that arena, and the lighting was to where everything was blacked out except the first like 4 rows and us. And there's your dad and your brother. And that part of like, you look at the journey, and you look at your journey, and you look at their journey. And the fact that show happened when it did. Yeah. Because if it had happened 10 years ago, if you'd have opened for Steve Earle 10 years ago, it would have been completely different.
Oh, sure. I'd have played what made people clap.
Yeah, and you would have just kind of sped through it and probably played, I don't know, who knows, more songs, because you would have just been like, yeah. And there wouldn't have been that moment where you were so intentional that it moved something in your dad and brother, but also the fact that you went through losing your mom, the timing of standing up there in your strongest version and being that light to them was, again, that's a moment that's ordained. That's like,
I felt like it, and it felt like one of those dreams of like, right before we go up on stage, I realized that my wireless pack is back in this dressing room, and it's like, go out on the stage. I got to run down this hallway,
which is running into a locker room, which is like
past where we were, had to come back and find it, come up out of breath, and it's like spotlight on my dad and brother, and Steve Earle's gonna play next, and Reckless Kelly, and just seemed like one of those
all
dreams.
The parts, which we talked about this, but the part where I was gonna be nervous, I just wasn't. And I haven't thought about it this way. I think
because we rehearsed that show. We were like, these are the songs, and this is the order. And it was like,
but for me, that. I mean, that's true, but it was more than that. Like, I mean, again, it was about timing. A year before, I would have been losing my shit. Because I wasn't as confident, and I wasn't as sure of not only myself, but myself beside you. I wasn't as sure of that. I wasn't even as sure of that.
Well, you had to step into hard shoes. You know, you stand up by me after I've been doing this for 30-something years. And I take some moxie.
Or some insanity.
Well, you bring out the best in me, and people see that. Look at me. Don't look at this other ear, though. I got another question if you don't.
I've got one more, but you go ahead.
This kind of plays off of some of what you said about confidence. I want to talk about imposter syndrome and how every artist that I know, and even huge artists I don't know, I've seen interviews with them, how at times they feel like imposters. And it's common. And but I came across this quote the other day.